Hello guys, we're back with another exciting episode of The Biography, where we bring to you a brief bio about individuals who has in one way or the other touched millions all around the world with their craft. On today's episode, I'm bringing you a brief about a Ghanaian former professional boxer who is widely known as the greatest African boxer of all time, Azuma Nelson. He recently turned 60. So we'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, I will bring into you the early life and career of Azuma Nelson.
V-Nation Pictures is a production firm in Ghana aimed at becoming the renowned production company in Africa and beyond. Services rendered include film production and editing, shooting of TV commercials and videos, photo shooting, event coverage such as wedding, engagement, parties, funerals, etc. Locate V-Nation Pictures inside King Solomon's Heights on the Trampoline Street off the Community 18 Road. Contact V-Nation Pictures on 030-3962-776 or 0240-289-952 for booking inquiries. You can also reach us on.
Right, you welcome back. This is The Bio and we are just about to start. Today I'm bringing you a brief on Azuma Nelson, a Ghanaian former professional boxer who is widely known as the African boxer of all time. My name is Kelvin FNK. Follow us on our various social media handles and let's get interactive. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for you to get a repost of this particular bio and every other program we have right here on VNTV, the powerhouse of entertainment. Now let's move straight to the early life and career of Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson, the professional, was born on September 19, 1958 in the newly independent Ghana. Azuma grew up in the harsh environment of the Bokum province in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Fighting was a hobby. It was a way of life for the children of the region. Like his father, Azuma wanted to box and he truly believed he could beat anyone. He tried on several occasions in the street but was led into the gym to face the best boxer at the time. Azuma Nelson had a stellar amateur career competing at the 1978 All-African Games and the 1978 Commonwealth Games, where he won gold medals in the featherweight class and compiling an amateur record of 50-2. Professional career. Azuma Nelson's professional career boxing debuted in 1979 did not generate much attention except in Ghana, where he was known because of his family ties. Internationally, Azuma Nelson lacked the recognition for such an event to be given its due importance. With the years, however, all that changed because of the garnered worldwide fame as a boxer. He beat Billy Kwame in Accra by a decision in 8 to mark his professional debut. In his third fight, he fought on 3rd March 1980. He knocked out Henry Sandler in the 9th round to win Ghana's regional 126-pound title. On 13th December 1980 of that year, he knocked out Joe Skipper in round 10 to add the African continent belt to his Ghanaian regional championship. In 1981, Azuma Nelson beat Buzo Aziza in Togo. It was Nelson's first fight abroad. He then beat Miguel Ruiz in his first United States fight held in California. He added the Commonwealth of Nations featherweight title with a 5th round knockout of Bram Roberts. Despite all his early achievements and being undefeated in 13 fights, Azuma Nelson was virtually unknown outside Ghana. Because of this, he was a decisive underdog when he challenged WBC featherweight champion Salvador Sanchez on 21st July 1982 at the Madison Square Garden in New York. Despite losing that fight by a knockout in round 15, Nelson's stock as a boxer rose after that fight, and he established himself as a deserving leading contender in the eyes of many fans. Further, Azuma Nelson was put at a significant disadvantage when his custom mouthpiece was stolen and he had to make do with a makeshift and purchased from a store and cut to his mouth with a knife. leaving him in pain for the whole fight. The Chances-Nelson fight would be Salvador Chances' last fight, as he died almost 2 months later after suffering a car accident in Mexico City. In his next fight, Azuma Nelson knocked out fringe contender Ivan Michel in 8 rounds. Azuma won all 4 of his fights in 1983, and he began 1984 by beating Hector Cortez by decision on 9th March in Las Vegas. Then on 8th December of that year, he began boxing royalty by knocking out Wilfredo Gomez in the round 11 to win the WBC Featherweight Championship. Behind on the 3 judges' scorecards, Nelson rallied in that last round to become champion in Puerto Rico. Azuma Nelson held on to the title for 3 years. He could not fight for 9 months after the Gomez bout, but when he returned, he retained the title in Miami with a 5-round knockout of Juvenal Ordens in September 1985. And then in October of that year, he retained it again with a first-round knockout of Pat Caldwell in Birmingham, England. The Caldwell knockout in particular became a highlight film material. Caldwell was left frozen on the canvas by Nelson's knockout punch. In 1986, Azuma Nelson retained the title 2 times, beating future world champion Marcos Villasana and former Barry McGuigan challenger Danilo Gabriele, once again in Puerto Rico. In 1987, Azuma Nelson retained the title against Mura Gutierrez by a knockout in round 6, and in a rematch with Villasana, once again by decision. After the second fight with Villasana, Nelson abandoned the WBC title. So that's a brief about the fight Azuma Nelson has had over the past couple of years, the ones he won and the ones, of course, he did not win. How he started by fighting those in the street to actually fulfill his career as a professional boxer. We'll go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
My country people, how on a day or Saturday don't reach for another bunga mock news on know the way they do am. Federal government don't provoke follow people where they said codeine. Say everybody now from north. Now so they drink up they swallow codeine. They know they put the miss again. Everybody now they drink up waka like the bottle. You hear the song itself because say Buhari na friend now. You just come here. You only hear no one apology. One of our honorable, they call Hamed. Yeah, you. Where they do face like cockroach, so you are welcome. The man that just pay you for this the way you do. I like your Gorima Pasha. Yeah, Gorima Pasha, not be your. Even the guy where they back, whether na the DSS or na SS or na wanting, the guy confused. If you say the guy don't met us, he call the spine. He call the do hair like this. He call the spine.
Mock News, showing only on VNTV every Saturday at 14 GMT.
Right, you welcome back. This is still the bio on the Ghanaian professional boxer Azuma Nelson. We can now put former because he's no longer boxing anymore. He recently turned 60. So let's move straight to some details about Azuma Nelson. Nelson began the 1982 by defeating Mario Martins by a split decision over 12 rounds in Los Angeles to win the vacant WBC Super Featherweight title. Nelson was dropped in the 10th round of their encounter, and the decision was not well received. He defended the title with the knockout in round 9 against former world champion Lupe Suarez, and with a knockout in 3 over Sidney Del Rovere. He proceeded in 1989 by beating Martins in a rematch by knockout in round 12, and then fighting Jim McDonnell with exactly the same results. The fight with McDonnell, fought in London, was considered one of the fights of the year by many boxing magazines, and McDonnell was widely praised by critics for his stand against Nelson. McDonnell suffered 4 knockdowns before the fight was stopped by referee Joel Cortez. On 19th May 1990, Nelson tried to join the exclusive group of 3 division world champion boxers by challenging world lightweight champion Pernell Whitaker, but he was handed his second career loss. When Whitaker won a 12-round unanimous decision to retain the title, for his next fight, he went to Australia to meet the former world featherweight champion Puerto Rico's Juan Lopetto. He beat Lopetto by a decision in 12 to retain the world JR lightweight title. In 1991, he had only 2 fights. In Spain, he beat Daniel Mustafa by a knockout in round 4 and a non-title bout, and then in Las Vegas, he retained the title with a controversial draw against 3-weight world champion Jeff Fenech. Many ringside observers and boxing writers felt Fenech had deserved to win that night, and an immediate rematch was signed and set for first March to 1999. Many ringside observers and boxing writers felt Fenech had deserved to win that night, and an immediate rematch was signed and set for 1st March 1992. Back in Australia, Nelson defeated Fenech by a knockout in round 8 of their sickle, and then he retained the title with a 12-round decision over former world champion Galvin Grove on 7th November. On 20th February 1993, the world traveling champion defeated future world champion Gabriel Feliz by decision in 12 in front of 120,000 fans, most of whom had come to watch Julio Cesar's defense of his title against Greg Huegen in the evening's main event in Mexico. The 120,000 fans turnout was the largest ever for a boxing event. Then on 10th September, he began his 4-fight series with future world champion Jesse James Leja by retaining the title with a draw as part of the Julio Cesar's Pernell Whitaker's fight undercard in San Antonio. Originally announced as a winner, Nelson found out minutes later when Leja was being interviewed that the correct outcome was a draw, giving Leja a rematch. The fight announcer had accidentally missed the scorecards and announced Nelson the winner. Even though the decision was changed to draw, Nelson still kept his title. On 7th May 1994, he and Leja met for the second time. That time around, the announcer was right when he announced Leja was winner and new world champion. That was Nelson's only bout in 1994. Leja quickly lost the title to Robles, who defeated against Nelson on 1st December 1995. And Nelson recovered the title in his rematch with Robles by knocking him out in round 5. His first defense took place almost a year later when he and Leja had their 3rd bout. Nelson retained the title with a 6-round knockout and had become his common practice. That was the only time Nelson fought in 1996. In 1998, he lost to Leja in their 4th and final bout in the lightweight division, but Nelson realized his best days in boxing were over and he retired. Nelson had a record of 39 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws with 28 knockout wins. So that's more details about Azuma Nelson, the fight he's had so far, his wins, and when he retired. We'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring to you more details about Azuma Nelson.
Officer, you give us office. Come here, you are saying officer. Gas up, exactly.
We are checking papers on this name. There is one certain guy who dropped someone food on that side.
But I'm not driving car.
You are not driving car.
Why haven't you been picking your calls?
I hope
What is this you're watching? Oh.
Check that thing.
Give it back!
Wait!
Give it
This
back!
is so funny. What program is this?
I'm watching 2 Papas on VNTV.
VNTV?
Oh, come on, nice. Everybody knows about VNTV. VNTV is an online TV.
Wow.
Yes. You can log on to www.vnationtv.com and you're ready to go.
Just like that?
Just like that. And the interesting thing is that we have so many amazing programs you can watch. And the coolest thing about VNTV is that you get to watch it anywhere. You can watch it on your smart TV, you can watch it on your smartphone, you can watch it on your laptop, iPad, anywhere. It's that cool.
Wow.
Let me get my stuff so we can go.
Not too fast.
Why? I thought you wanted us to go to the mall.
Yes, that was then. But now, let us stay home and watch VNTV.
Are you serious?
Very, very serious.
I thought you were mad before.
That was before. Oh, we don't like a wolf.
Right, you welcome back. This is still the Bayou, and we've been talking about Azuma Nelson. So if you're just joining us, you can subscribe to a YouTube channel for you to get a repost of this particular Bayou on the legend himself, Azuma Nelson. Follow us on our various social media handles and let's get interactive. Now let's wrap up with more details about Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson's longtime boxing trainer, Joe Buffalo Martin, was killed in a car crash in January 1998. He then trained with Joe Garson. However, despite several comeback attempts in the next 10 years, Nelson never won a bout without Buffalo in his corner. 16 years after their last meeting, Nelson fought a rematch with lifelong rival Jeff Fenech. Nelson, 49, and Fenech, 44, fought in Australia on 24th June 2008, and Jeff Fenech winning a majority decision. Azuma Nelson Jr. is Nelson's son and an amateur boxer. He's been trained by and has the backing of his father, who is confident in him dominating the sport. Azuma Nelson Jr. has set his sights on becoming a greatest legend than his father. So that's a brief about Azuma Nelson's son. Yes, he's fighting just like his father. Now, Azuma Nelson gained national hero status in Ghana. He is widely recognized by boxing fans and critics as the greatest fighter ever to come out of this coastal African nation. He was selected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame on 8 January 2004. He was inducted 13th June 2004. He is also a member of the World Boxing Hall of Fame. Azuma Nelson also has endured personal loss. His wife of many years died during the 1990s of cancer. Yes, interesting one. And finally, the legacy Azuma Nelson left behind. One of the notable ones is the fact that the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex at Kaneshie in Accra was named after him. He's inspired a lot of growing boxers in Ghana right now and all around Africa, being one of the greatest boxers of all time we have right here in Ghana and Africa. Well, that's a brief about Azuma Nelson, who I made mention of earlier on, just turned 60. We're celebrating 60 years of his success and his achievement over the years in the boxing fraternity. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for you to get a repost of this particular bio on Azuma Nelson. Follow us on our various social media handles and let's get interactive. Next week, I'll be bringing to you another legend. My name is Kelvin FK.